Obviously, it's been a tough time for everybody with the whole lockdown and the coronavirus just hitting, I suppose, very, very suddenly. But how have you been? I presume you've been trying to keep up your fitness and stuff, I suppose, at home.
Yeah, of course. I'm literally only home a couple of weeks now. Anyway, actually back in Ireland, so I was in London for the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, in hope that the league would come back and get going again. But but unfortunately that was not to happen. So of course. So just kept fit probably. It was probably in some was in great shape really, to be honest. But at the same time didn't really get to do too much ball work or anything like that. So
I suppose that makes such a difference. You know what I mean? You can do as much runs and as much individual training, but I suppose the ball work and the actual match fitness is completely different.
Yeah, no, there's no comparison. Even as much as you can try to do, there's nothing like it being in. Yeah, even if it would have been a small group of players that could have got together and done something, but just not possible at all. So it did prove very difficult, and it is difficult to find a good wall that isn't the same house around here anymore. So.
Of course. And with regards to the updates and that from the association over there, were you kept updated, or was it just kind of all of a sudden, look, the league has been cancelled?
No, we were up, or well, I suppose relatively updated every week. We had a club call with everyone every Monday, and then we had more individual calls during the week. But so we were kept updated, and obviously they kept trying to do different scenarios, but it just never seemed likely, to be honest.
Okay.
And which then at the time when it was cancelled, I think at that stage it was the right thing to do, because I think mentally it was it was really, really tough. I think it kept kind of, there kind of wasn't any hope really. I should have maybe realised that a little bit sooner, but but now it's obviously disappointing to see, because obviously the men's league has started back up, the league in Germany has started back up, but obviously they were kind of given hope, where I suppose we were trying and the league was trying, but I think overall it was going to be a no-go.
It must have been very tough. I suppose it would have been very tough, even like for players, for managers, for coaches who might have elderly parents, and they might be, I suppose, visiting them, or they might have children, or I suppose immediate family members with underlying conditions. It's a tough one. Let's say if the league had it resumed, that they're told, look, it's your choice. You can kind of stay away, and we're going to crack on, or else you can risk it. Like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was obviously all these scenarios, and then a scenario where you could have been put into a certain kind of isolation area, like hotels or something. So, I suppose for us it was, and that's not the same for every team at all. But we all either live by ourselves or with other teammates. Anyway, there's no one that actually lives with their family.
Okay.
Apart from obviously then, a couple of the coaches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, that's really it.
And can I just?
But obviously that's not the same for everyone in the league. Yeah.
Of course. Can I just switch briefly, I suppose, with regards to sports? Obviously the GAA in the last few days you've seen have set out a roadmap. Do you think that's realistic? Like, do you think, I suppose, now obviously the cases and stuff and the number of deaths and the numbers in hospitals is improving rapidly, but is it fair, I suppose, to ask players, or to say to players, look, we're cracking on in, I suppose, September for club and October for inter-county? Or do you think that's just, I suppose, trying to maybe appease people and keep people happy for another few months until they eventually will just call it off like so many leagues?
I'm not entirely sure what that kind of layout for the GAA is. I haven't seen it, but they've got to try at some stage.
You can't just hold it off indefinitely, like.
Yeah, and then, but it's extremely tough, and I think it's then just giving people the time to actually like make those decisions, and then either kind of come up with alternative living arrangements if they can, and discuss things with their families. Like there's no kind of right or wrong here, and it's got to, and exactly, you've got to set out some sort of time scale, or else we're just going to be sitting here,
you can't leave it indefinite, like
nothing. I don't think so. And there's and then that's the thing. And then if it's then maybe not working out, well then then you've got to come up with another plan. But I think everything needs a plan A to Z at the moment. There's no, we're all going through a really difficult time, so it's hard to find maybe the exact right answer. But so just giving people the time to kind of make that decisions or make alternative arrangements, and obviously putting those safety procedures in place. Like, if they're the Premier League teams are doing it, where they have those, official and proper kind of safety regulations in and testing consistently, well then, that will give you that kind of
reassurance, I suppose. Of course. And I suppose back to yourself, it's your own news in the last few days that you'll be moving on from Arsenal. You've had a fantastic couple of years there, obviously, with a League Cup, you've Champions League experience, a league medal. What are your thoughts on that? Obviously, it's a tough time, because it seems like a club that have really it seems like a real family club, and everyone is really, really close there.
Obviously it's disappointing not to be playing another season with Arsenal, especially how it finished this year. So I feel I feel like I have not finished kind of what I started, to be able to finish the end of a season, be able to say goodbye to my own teammates. I didn't get the chance to do that. So so that's one that's going to be really, really difficult for me.
And is that something, I suppose, at the club, are you kind of happy to just make a clean break now, or are you going to arrange, obviously, to go back and have a proper goodbye with your teammates, like, I suppose, whenever the time allows?
Oh yeah, of course, sure, they're my friends, you know what I mean. That's going to be natural. I'm going to head back when I can. I wouldn't expect anything from the club per se. But obviously from my friends and teammates, of course, like I'm going to go back and see them when the time is right, just to be able to give them a hug, and just the simple things, like
I don't want to obviously dwell on the circumstances, but it must, as you touched on there, it must be extremely difficult that it just happens like that. And all of a sudden, that you haven't got, I suppose, the time to even count down the matches and say, right, I've got 3 left, 2 left, this is my final game, and have that farewell, even with the fans as well.
Yeah, exactly. And that was extremely tough. Putting on the jersey for the last time, not knowing that was going to be it. And, obviously great that it was a final, but then unfortunately we lost the final. But, but at the same time, it was still, for us, we actually, had a great game, and should have won the final. So there was definitely positive and negatives to take from it. It's just one of those things. I'll head back soon, and get my jersey and get those little things that will kind of keep those memories then.
Of course, and I suppose overall you must look back at your time with Arsenal with, I suppose, immense pride and a huge amount of good memories.
Yeah, of course, I had a great time. No regrets. I gave everything I could. I left everything out on the training pitch and the pitch, and tried to be a good teammate, and so no, that's football, and there's there could be things, I could be in a worse situation in terms of this this whole thing, and at the end of the day, it's as long as we're kind of healthy and happy and friends and family are alright, it's kind of, it puts things into perspective. But yeah, it's just sad.
Of course.
Sad to say goodbye and do all that, but yeah.
Yeah, and with regards to, I suppose you've obviously enjoyed playing both for club and country with Katie in the last couple of years. Have you been in touch with her the last few days? Obviously, it'll just be on an international stage from now on.
Oh yeah, I'm in touch with Katie all the time. That's listen, thank God I'm still getting to play in the Irish team, where she's a fantastic teammate, and just seeing how she's progressing and getting on in Arsenal has been just lovely to see. And we really,
enjoyed, I suppose, your football together very much so, by the looks of things, in the last couple of years together.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think you can see it as well. We have that connection on the pitch, either with Arsenal and with the Irish team, and we know how to kind of communicate with each other and get the best out of each other, and maybe know when things are good or bad, and use our experience with Arsenal to try and bring that into the Irish team as well.
It must make a big difference, or it must be a huge boost, I suppose, from the internet. That you both play on the same international team as well as a club team, because I suppose you've grown accustomed to each other's style of play and stuff in the last couple of years. So it must be nice that you know the way she plays and she knows the way you play. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. That's what I was just saying. Just knowing and having that connection on both those teams, and that's gonna it should hopefully kind of stay that way as well, and it'll still just be great then to be able to put on the green jersey with her as well.
And I suppose with the international games, they are going to come around thick and fast. You're obviously doing really, really well in the group, and with Vera coming in, everybody seems to be really enjoying the football. She seems to just, I suppose, I've heard a couple of interviews with her where she knows the potential and the talent within that group, and she's just, I suppose, telling people to go out and enjoy it and just express yourselves and do what you do best. It must be an enjoyable camp at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Vera coming in has been great for us, and I think we've been good for her. I think we both just squad and management have just clicked really well. We all have a lot of respect for each other, and then seeing her experience coming in, you're going to listen to a manager like that and see where she's brought teams, and she's just really simplified the game, I think, for us, and the basics, and simple stuff of why did we play a certain pass, and we were like, oh well, I felt like that was the only pass I could have played, and she was like, well, what do you think? We look at video clips, and she's like, I think here would have been the best pass, and then that would have potentially led to a goal scoring opportunity, and you just see it and you're like, yeah, exactly. Like, take those chances to play it forwards, and create more opportunities instead of playing a safe pass. And we're very defensive minded, whereas I think in all of our games that we've played so far, it's been very big emphasis on defending, but probably actually a more emphasis on attacking, to be honest.
Yeah, and I suppose the group has. Yeah, sorry, apologies.
Yeah. I don't know what I was going to say.
No, you're fine. Yeah, the group has that potential to just play and just let loose, and I suppose and has that talent to I suppose put the emphasis on attack as well as obviously the importance of defence as well.
Exactly. That we're all good natural defenders anyway. I think every Irish player is. So it's about bringing that confidence and cool and calmness on the ball. That I think sometimes either that's kind of built into us, and that's how some managers have wanted to play. Whereas she sees the balance in both, and she sees the talent that we have, and you can just see it in the squad that we have plenty of ball playing players. So let's use our strengths, and that's it. She's figured out our strengths and weaknesses, and she'll easily say something to me that if she's like, I don't think that's your strength, I think you maybe shouldn't do that as much. And I think that's great as well. At the same time, she's like, but you're brilliant at this, so let's make sure you do more of this.
Emphasize. Okay. Yeah, I understand. And how, I suppose, obviously you're taking it one game at a time, one half at a time, but how much of a boost I suppose has obviously with how well you've been doing the last few years, like the crowds in Tala for the last couple of games it's been fantastic. Even coming into the ground an hour beforehand, the build up, the buzz around the place, it's incredible. And I suppose it's so important, obviously, with the 20 by 20. Obviously, we're in 2020 and it's moving fairly quickly. That this continues, that this push, obviously, I suppose that everything just keeps getting better.
Yeah, it's to be able to play in Tala at the moment with the crowds we have. It's just been some of the most enjoyable international football I've played in a long time. And the crowd has a massive part to play in that. The build up, knowing the games are on the TV, the buzz on kind of social media, or even if you're just walking down the street, either even in your hometown, or when we're in camp and you head to the cinema or do whatever, people are saying hello and saying good luck for the game, and a lot of people know about it. And I think that's what football is about as well, so that people are getting enjoyment out of it, as much as we are, and that other people can kind of get that buzz that we have. And obviously that is a massive part down to 2020, and they've literally given their all to try promote the game and to just give us the platform to kind of show who we are, and want to become role models and build a game. And we only know that for some of us it might just be short-lived, and it's only going to get bigger and better. So we're just trying to set that pathway up.
Yeah, and I suppose it's been a hugely enjoyable campaign for yourself and the other ambassadors to have been involved in.
Yeah, I think we've absolutely loved it. We have a bit of a group going on, and we a few chats every now and then, and just we're all mainly that's it, like kind of Instagram pals. And anytime anything happens, we're just there backing each other up and just seeing what we're doing. And I think that's the thing. You're watching everyone, and we're all growing. The Leona and Steph, the golf world is just getting bigger and better, and they're just excelling. And and then Laura with the camogie, that's again, you see the crowds there that are building is just incredible in Croke Park when they get to play. And and then Sarah just doing bits either here or in Australia, and she's rocking it. So it's made me learn so much about other sports.
That's what I was just going to say. You've probably learned a lot, I suppose, with regards to, or even, I suppose, got a lot of positive exposure with regards to talking to these ambassadors and picking up knowledge and different things you never knew about these different sports.
Yeah, exactly. My knowledge is definitely broadened, and I'm so interested in so many different sports and different avenues that you can just look at. And and now you're seeing a lot of the athletes that are getting themselves back ready for the Olympics, and again, so you're just seeing these great athletes just getting themselves primed and ready, and you just feel so happy for them, because you've maybe got to know them a little bit just going to a few events and starting kind of following them and their journey. And so it's incredible. And I'm very thankful that I actually got to be a part of that. It's been one of the proudest things I think I've been a part of, really.
Of course, yeah. And obviously, I suppose, as I said, with this being 2020, I suppose the 2-year mandate that they had will be up in October, or I suppose that 2-year anniversary that they set out at the beginning. But I suppose I'm sure you'll agree with me. It's only going to get better. It's the foundations have been set now, I suppose, that it can only just improve and get better over the next couple of years with regards to crowds, I suppose, promotion, support, media coverage, I suppose participation as well, which is another huge thing.
Yeah, I don't think they're not going to stop here just because it has a bit of a date in it. So I feel like 2020 has already been put on hold a little bit anyway, so I'm sure they'll extend their title there. But this is just something that wanted to trigger change, and that's exactly what it's done. And I really don't see it stopping, and I don't see the crew in 20 by 20 stopping anytime soon. it's just had a massive impact on sport in general in Ireland. So I don't see why, there's going to be no way that, we're hopefully not going to lose any steam or momentum. And I think even during this tough time, consider there basically hasn't been any sports on. I think they've done brilliantly anyway, and trying to, keep pushing that and keep putting females athletes in the, still putting themselves out there, and then actually maybe getting to know them more on a personal level, with kind of these Instagram takeovers or more interviews, or seeing what they kind of do outside of sport as well as just what they do in their sport. So I think they've done a great job.
Of course, I suppose it's also, I heard Paul O'Connell speaking recently on 2FM, I think it was, with regards to the 20x20, and he was saying even himself, it's had a huge impact on him with regards to his own kids. He said, I think last year for his 2 kids' birthdays, he went and brought his daughter a jersey for the first time in her life, and she absolutely loves it. Like, is it small little changes, I suppose, that parents, I suppose, need to not take responsibility for it? Well, I suppose it is, but little small changes like that can make such an impact with regards to from a young age as well. And I suppose different values and different ways of doing things.
Yeah, exactly. It is trying to change people's train of thought and what they initially might go for and what they might do. And exactly. And that's only something that's kind of happened last year. You'd obviously, you do, and you want parents and families and everything, older brothers and sisters and teammates and everything to take responsibility and just give kids options and choices, and not just give the girl the pink, something pink, and the boy something blue, and this, that, and the other. Variety, options, change up, but then it broadens kids' minds as to what opportunities are there and what other things are there for them. So yeah, absolutely, so it is that bit of responsibility, really, just to kind of give those options, and then let people kind of make their own decisions on that.
And you think those options, I suppose, are those broader opportunities, as you say, it has in the last couple of years, will improve, I suppose, the dropout rate around maybe 12, 13, 14 years of age?
Yeah, you'd hope so, but that's obviously the main kind of area, of course, that there is a big dropout, and I think that's a massive kind of changing point and turning point for girls and teenagers, and it is something that I suppose that will kind of that's going to be such a tough one to kind of deal with. But exactly, if we can just kind of get those numbers up and just make girls realize that there's always there's always options there, and maybe if it is something that you're not enjoying, don't give up. There's another maybe sport or activity that you just might want to get involved in, or that you're a group of your friends just like, and it is even as simple as some of these 5 kilometer walk challenges, and just something, and it's even around scenic areas, and just doing building up, just getting people out to exercise and keeping people healthy. And it really is as simple as that. And that's it's you want to bring up the numbers in teams and societies and this, that, and the other, but the main thing is to keep people active, and whatever way they feel like that's something they can do. If it is as simple as a walk, well, then we're doing our job right, and getting kids up and active, and and it's proven that it'll kind of help your mental well-being as well, help your mind as well as your body. So just keeping people active is the most important.
Of course. Can you put your finger on, or have you any idea? Obviously, it's a complex issue, but is there any, I suppose, standout reason as to why the dropout rate is so high, I suppose, in early teenage years?
That's a very, very difficult one, but it does. It just seems to turn into, obviously for females, it can be a massive, you know, kind of hormones and menstrual cycle and, you know, different kind of changes in your body that people can be, very self-conscious about, and you know, and self-esteem, and I think that's something as well, that it's, as in, social media is so powerful and so positive in every way. You know, we're seeing that quite a lot, especially during this lockdown, that, you know, kind of social media has been massively positive and is helping people so much, but it can also have, that it can, you know, definitely have a negative twist to it. And I feel like that's something that has happened, even more lately, that, you know, there can be a lot of kind of bullying through that way, that if there is a girl and she likes sports that isn't, and it, you know, and isn't, then is a bit of a tomboy or this, that and the other, you know, some people become very self-conscious of that, where whereas then I think obviously everyone just needs to be more accepting of it, or it's not feminine enough, or everything. It's a really, really difficult one, and a really, you know, something to kind of put your finger on. But I think that's something where they're touching, 20 by 20 are touching base with everything involved, and trying to cover all bases, and have tough conversations about all of that. But if that's the thing, it's just finding kind of the right activity or sport for that person, you know, because maybe they don't like to, you know, to be breaking out in a massive sweat and, you know, this, that and the other. Sometimes, and some people just don't like it. So it's then just finding that activity that's right, you know, that people can still kind of, and girls can still keep active and keep going, and just be comfortable in their skin. And and I think you find that a lot through like team sports and teams activities, that, you know, you're going to find a lot of people who have so many similar likings and everything that you have. So it's just trying to find that and harness it, and just make people feel good and confident about themselves, and and just changing that perception, and then the same things, if you can maybe, you know, change one girl's way of thinking, and then she can influence her family, and then she's getting her parents out to exercise more, or
it's
to
little
get
small things like that, I suppose, that makes such a difference. Like,
and it's, you want people to be more involved in activities, but at the same time you want more people just to volunteer and to help, or just to just to watch, you know, or get more spectators. There's no, you know, it's some of the things are not fair. I feel like there's something in sport that someone, you know, can be great at, and that's even just, you know, the organization of how things are run, and you know, volunteers, and that's, you know, that's essentially what we want.
And do you think maybe we need to, I know obviously I've been keeping an eye on Polly Bancroft within UEFA. She's recently launched, or I suppose been part of launching, for very, very young kids. Do we need to maybe take it back as far as maybe 3, 4, 5 years of age? I think one of the programs she has launched is that it's I think Disney themed football camps that would be just take the I suppose the tactics and everything out of it, and just allow people, I suppose kids, to just have fun and just see if it's for them, rather than to bring in the drills and the tactics at a very, very young age. Yeah,
absolutely. That can, of course, that starts from as soon as you're born. And like as the saying is, if you can't see it, you can't be it. And that's in terms of everything, even, you know, young games, and what you see is then what you want to be. So obviously just introducing simple little activities and stuff like that, and it does, and that is that responsibility that parents can take and really kind of embrace and enjoy, who want to be able to get their toddler to be active and to want to participate, and at the end of the day, we all know that from just doing that creates it creates a lifestyle, and it creates your friends and confidence. To say that, like, I'm, would still keep in touch with so many of, people that I've played sport with in the past, and especially being back home now in Blessington, you walk the streets just going to the shop and you're seeing, some of the girls that you used to play football with or Gaelic football with, and now we haven't talked in years, and now we're having conversations again, and and it's lovely, and that's the most refreshing and something there that then that's making a massive a massive impact. So yeah, of course, yeah, like to get it going and starting as early as you can. Of course, that's without doubt, correct and the good thing to do.
Louise, I'm conscious of time. I appreciate your time, obviously, as always. Can I just ask, I suppose there's one or two things to finish up on. As you say there, you're meeting people that are that you've played with previously, but with regards to the Women's National League, obviously Steph Roach is back with Peamount, and they're really, really, I suppose we're not sure yet when the league is going to resume, but they seem primed or they're really putting a strong squad together with regards to, I suppose, looking to retain their title and also giving the Champions League a bit of a crack as well. It's an exciting time around the club. Yeah,
exactly. I'm thrilled to see kind of Peamount really back where they belong, and I think they've always had an extremely kind of strong squad, and it just kind of hasn't happened for them, but they've now, especially you've seen it over the last 2-3 years, they've really built something, and have wanted to get back to where they know they can be, but there's been obviously Wexford has been such a powerhouse, and then Raheny / Shells kind of thing, and so it's just great to now finally see Peamount back up there. I've always known that they're going to get back. They have the foundations there of brilliant pitches, and then just Dennis Cummins in the background is he's the main man, and I think you want to kind of get back to where it was kind of for him, and he's done so much to make that happen, and he'll do anything for the team and for the club to kind of make that happen. Now obviously there's Steph is back, and it's just going to only add to the strength. Obviously it's a tough loss that they lost Amber, but she's doing her thing in Germany now. But to have Steph back, to have Anya ticking as always, and now back in the national team, and a lot of those players now are touching base in the national team as well. Niamh Farrelly, Eleanor Ryan Doyle has been in as well. So, and there's like a few others there. It's just brilliant to see it back, and hopefully that's it. I really feel like with that squad they could easily be qualifying for Champions League. I feel like that's something where I think the National League needs to take and step it up that gear. We did it back in 2011, and that's it should have taken off from there. We got to play in Tala against PSG, and it's just kind of filtered off, and there's I feel like it needs that a step up where we can be, where Irish teams can be competing.
You were the first Irish team to qualify, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And as you say, I suppose, do you think it maybe hasn't, I suppose, taken off as much as it maybe should have since you made that breakthrough?
No, it hasn't. There hasn't. I could be very wrong. There could have been, maybe Raheny at a time did get to a stage as well. I think where they played Bristol and stuff like that. So
yes,
I think it did happen a couple of times. But then since then, in the last few years, Wexford being a very, very strong squad, and you see it every year when they're going and playing in their Champions League games. They are teams they should be beating, definitely. And so we're missing something there. We're missing, and again, it's missing the support from the association to actually want to qualify and want to build something up there. It's unfortunate that the clubs, the girls playing for the clubs here are still paying to play football, and a lot of money as well. You know, and that's a huge shame. It shouldn't have to be that way. They should be able to enjoy their football. You know, hopefully maybe have those ambitions to, you know, to even try and make it a semi-professional environment. You know, but at the moment it doesn't seem to have those ambitions, which is.
Are we far away from that, do you think?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
That probably gives you my answer, to be honest. I've heard no
progression or no ideas being thrown around. Yeah,
exactly. But now at the same time, with Vera in charge and then Eileen Gleeson being the assistant coach, I think that kind of puts a new spin and emphasis on it. You know, and you can't ask for things overnight or in the space of a few months or anything like that. But I think to try and really progress it is something that, you know, should be done. At the same time, though, in saying that, it is difficult, because I suppose some more of those players will go straight to England, you know, if they can, or go try play professional. So, but I just think making it more of a fair environment and easier for the girls and women that play in that league, that they that they have a fair chance and a fair crack at succeeding and giving themselves the best shot.
I think facilities is a huge thing as well. I was only speaking to Lauren Dwyer with Wexford last week, and she's from Kildare, but she said before she went to Peamount that there was no team to play with where she's from in Kildare. Like, you know, she said, I think since then, in the last year or so, there's been a girl under 17 from the same area and under 19. So it's, again, we're back to opportunities and facilities and just having that outlet when you're young.
Yeah, exactly. It's trying to create something there, and you know, and I think that's where, again, us as players can kind of be that trigger and those role models. You know, it's only recently that in Blessington now that they've set up like a girls team.
Okay.
So it was proving difficult, and obviously I just got a message, you know, if I could come along, and straight away I wanted to be a part of that. I want,
of course,
to have that that facility to be a part of a club, and for girls to be able to come here and play and enjoy their football. And at the moment, and obviously before all of this, you know, they've been doing great and have loved it, and you know, I'm only hearing good things. So it's just and then it's just trying to keep that momentum going, and it's extremely difficult with other sports involved as well. And you know, Gaelic football and stuff like that would, you know, obviously be the main competition here, especially in Blessington. But so, like, yeah, it's trying to find that balance and keep both sports happy, and for girls just to kind of find their path and find their way.